What's up, English learners? I'm so excited you're here. Before we start this amazing story, I have a challenge for you. Comment challenge. Tell me your country plus your English learning goal. For example, United States. I want to get a better job with English. India. I want to speak English fluently. Brazil. I want to understand movies without subtitles. I'm curious. Are you learning English for travel and adventure, better job opportunities, university studies, making international friends, personal growth? Drop your country and goal in the comments right now. And listen, if you're serious about improving your English with real stories like Elena'S, like this video. It takes 1 second but helps so much. Subscribe. Join our English learning family. All right, enough talking. Let's jump into Elena'S incredible transformation from shy Spanish student to confident English teacher in London. Chapter 1. My first day in London. My name is Elena. I am from Barcelona, Spain. I am 22 years old. Today is my first day in London. I came here to learn English. I sit on the train. I look out the window. London is big. I feel nervous. I feel excited too. A woman sits next to me. She has blonde hair. She smiles at me. Hello, she says. I am Sarah. Hello, I am Elena, I say. My voice is quiet. I am shy. Where are you from? Sarah asks. I am from Spain, from Barcelona, I say. How nice! Why are you in London? I want to learn English. I go to English school tomorrow. Sarah smiles. That is wonderful. I love Barcelona. I went there last year. We talk for 1 hour. Sarah speaks slowly for me. She is very kind. She helps me when I don't know words. Elena, she says, you speak English well already? No, I make many mistakes, I say. Mistakes are normal. I make mistakes in Spanish too. The important thing is to speak, to try. Sarah gives me her phone number. Call me when you want to practice English, she says. I feel happy. This is my first real conversation in English. It is not perfect, but it is real. Chapter 2. My first English lesson. I wake up early. Today is my first day at the Green School of English. I eat breakfast at my small hotel. I am nervous. The school is in an old building. It has many books. Students from different countries sit and talk. I hear English, Spanish, Italian, and other languages. I go to my classroom. There are 12 students. They are from Italy, Brazil, Japan, Korea, and other places. We all want to learn English. Our teacher walks in. He looks young, maybe 25 years old. Good morning, everyone. I am James. Welcome to your English journey. He sits with us in a circle. No desks. No boards with grammar rules. We will not study English, he says. We will use English. There is a big difference. A student from Italy raises her hand. But how do we learn grammar? She asks. Good question, Monica. Tell me, how did you learn Italian grammar as a child? Monica thinks. I don't remember studying grammar. I just spoke. Exactly. You learned by listening, by trying to speak, by making mistakes. That is how we learn here too. James explains our method. We read interesting stories for 30 minutes every day. We listen to English audio for 30 minutes every day. We speak English for 30 minutes every day. We don't study grammar rules. We don't memorize word lists. We use English for real communication. But I need to know grammar, says a student from Korea. You do know grammar, James says. You learned your first language perfectly. You have the ability. Trust yourself. I think about this. He is right. I never studied Spanish grammar as a child, but I speak Spanish perfectly. James gives us our first task. Talk to the person next to you for 10 minutes. Tell them about your country. Use only English. Don't worry about mistakes. I turn to Monica from Italy. We start talking. At first, I am nervous, but soon I forget about grammar. I just want to tell her about Barcelona. I love Barcelona, I say. The food is very good. The beaches are beautiful. Rome is beautiful too, Monica says, but I want to see Barcelona one day. We talk for 10 minutes. I make mistakes, but Monica understands me. She makes mistakes too, but I understand her. After class, I feel different. I feel like I can speak English. Not perfectly, but I can communicate. Chapter 3. Reading changes everything. James gives us homework. Read for 30 minutes every day. Choose books that are easy for you. If you don't understand 5 or more words on one page, the book is too difficult. I go to the school library. There are many books for English learners. I choose a simple story about a girl who travels around the world. That evening, I sit in my small room. I open the book. The first page is easy. I understand almost everything. Sarah lived in a small town. She dreamed of seeing the world. One day, she bought a plane ticket to Paris. I know these words. I can picture the story in my mind. I read for 30 minutes. I enjoy it. Some words I don't know, but I don't stop to check my dictionary. James told us, if you understand the story, continue reading. Don't stop for every new word. After 1 week of reading, something amazing happens. I start to see the same words again and again. Words like journey, discover, adventure. I learn these words naturally without studying them. Monica tells me her secret. I read gossip magazines in English, she says. I love celebrity stories. Reading is fun for me now. That is a good idea, I say. I want to try different books too. I start reading about music. I read about the Beatles, my favorite band. I read about London places. Reading becomes my favorite part of learning English. James explains why reading works. When you read, you see words in context. You see how English really works. Your brain learns patterns naturally. In class, I notice something. Students who read every day speak better English. They use more words. They sound more natural. Reading is like food for your English brain, James says. The more you read, the stronger your English becomes. I decide to read more. I read on the train. I read before bed. I read during lunch. English words start to feel familiar, like old friends. Chapter 4. Listening to Real English. Today we learn about listening, James says. Listening is very important, but you must listen to the right level. He plays a BBC news program. It is very fast, very difficult. Most students look confused. This is too difficult for you now, James says. If you listen to difficult English, you learn nothing. You just feel frustrated. He plays another audio. This is a simple story for learners. The speaker talks slowly and clearly. This is perfect for you now, James says. You understand most words. Your brain can focus on new words and patterns. James teaches us about shadowing. Listen to English audio. Repeat exactly what you hear. Copy the sounds, the rhythm, the emotion. We practice together. The audio says, "Good morning. How are you today?" We all repeat, "Good morning. How are you today?" At first I feel silly, but soon I notice my pronunciation getting better. I sound more like a native speaker. Shadowing trains your mouth muscles, James explains. Your mouth learns to make English sounds correctly. For homework, we must listen to English for 30 minutes every day. We can choose audiobooks, simple level, English learning podcasts, simple English news, movies with subtitles. I choose audiobooks. I find the same books I read, but in audio form. I can read and listen at the same time. This helps me a lot. I hear how words sound. I learn the rhythm of English. I start to think in English sounds, not Spanish sounds. Monica chooses English pop music. I love music, she says. Now I understand the words in songs. Another student chooses English YouTube videos about cooking. I love cooking, he says. Now I learn English and cooking together. James is happy. You see? Learning English is not boring. Choose things you love. Make English part of your life. After 2 weeks of daily listening, I understand more. When people speak to me, I understand faster. I don't translate in my head. I just understand. Chapter 5. Finding my voice. Speaking is the most important skill, James tells us, but many students are afraid to speak. Why? We make mistakes, says a student from Japan. People don't understand us, says another student. We sound funny, I say. James nods. These feelings are normal. But I have news for you. Native speakers make mistakes too. Native speakers sometimes don't understand each other. Native speakers sometimes sound funny too. He tells us about thinking aloud. Talk to yourself in English. When you walk to school, describe what you see. When you cook dinner, explain what you do. When you feel happy or sad, express it in English. Talk to myself? Monica asks. That sounds crazy. It's not crazy. It's practice. Athletes practice alone. Musicians practice alone. English speakers must practice alone too. I try this that evening. I walk to the supermarket. I talk to myself quietly. I am walking to the shop. The weather is nice today. I see a red bus. The bus is very big. There are many people on a street. At first, I feel embarrassed, but nobody pays attention to me. Soon, I forget to feel embarrassed. I just enjoy speaking English. In the supermarket, I continue. I need to buy milk and bread. The milk is in the cold section. The bread smells very good. This becomes my daily habit. I talk to myself everywhere. On the bus, in my room, while cooking. My English speaking improves quickly. James also teaches us conversation strategies. What do you do when you don't know a word? He asks. Use dictionary, says one student. No. In conversation, you can't stop to check dictionary. You must explain with simple words. He gives us an example. Imagine you want to say refrigerator, but you forgot the word. What can you say? We think. Then Monica says, "The big white box that keeps food cold." Perfect. You communicated your idea. Communication is more important than perfect words. We practice this. We describe objects without saying their names. We tell stories using only simple words. We learn that we can communicate even when our English is not perfect. Chapter 6. My job at the cafe. After 3 weeks in London, I need money. I look for a part-time job. I see a sign in a small cafe window, "Part-time server wanted. English practice welcome." I go inside. The cafe is modern and busy. A young woman with short hair smiles at me. "Hello, I saw your sign in the window," I say. "Great. I'm Lucy, the owner. Are you a student?" "Yes, I study English at the Green School." "Perfect. I love helping English students. The job is simple. You take orders, serve coffee, clean tables. Are you interested?" "Yes, very much. But my English is not perfect." Lucy laughs. "Don't worry. Our customers are very patient. Many are tourists. Some don't speak perfect English either." She gives me the job. I start the next day. My first morning is difficult. A man orders a large cappuccino with an extra shot and oat milk. I don't understand shot or oat milk. I look confused. Lucy helps me. Shot means extra coffee. Oat milk is milk made from oats, not from cows. The man smiles. "No problem. I can wait." I learn that customers are usually kind. When I don't understand, they speak slower. They use different words. They help me learn. A woman from Scotland orders a wee bit of sugar in her tea. I don't understand wee bit. It means a little bit, she explains. In Scotland, we say wee for small. I learn new words every day. Words like takeaway, food to go, queue, line of people, brilliant, very good. Lucy teaches me how to adapt my English for different customers. For tourists from Asia, I speak slowly and use simple words. For business people in a hurry, I speak quickly and efficiently. English has many levels, Lucy explains. Good speakers can change their level for different situations. Working at the cafe gives me confidence. I use English for real purposes. I solve real problems. I help real people. After 1 month, I feel comfortable taking orders. I make small talk with regular customers. I even joke with some of them. One regular customer, an old man named George, always asks about my day. At first, I just said good or okay. Now we have real conversations. "How was your English class today, Elena?" he asks. "It was interesting. We learned about British history. Did you know that London had a great fire in 1666? "Oh yes, the Great Fire of London. I live near where it started. Would you like me to show you the monument sometime?" These conversations make me realize something important. I am not just learning English anymore. I am living in English. Chapter 7. Joining the football team. One day at school, I see a notice on the wall. International Women's Football Team, all levels welcome. Practice Saturdays 10 a.m. I love football. In Barcelona, I played on my university team. But can I play football in English? I decide to try. On Saturday, I go to the park. I see women from many countries. They speak English together. "Hi, are you here for football?" asks a tall woman with a Brazilian accent. Yes, I am Elena. I am from Spain. I am Carla from Brazil. Welcome to our team. Carla introduces me to other players. There is Maria from Mexico, Sophie from France, Yuki from Japan, and Emma, who is English. Emma is the team captain. She speaks to everyone in simple, clear English. Okay, everyone, let's warm up. Run around the field twice, then stretch. On the football field, English becomes easy. The language is simple and direct. Pass to me. Good shot. Nice save. Try again. I notice something interesting. Carla speaks English fluently, but she uses simple words. She communicates perfectly. Elena, you run fast. Stay on the right side, she tells me during the game. After practice, we go for coffee. This is where I really learn conversational English. Elena, how long have you been in London? Sophie asks. 5 weeks. I came to learn English. Your English is really good already, says Maria. Thank you, but I still make many mistakes. We all do, says Carla. I have been here 2 years, and I still make mistakes. But people understand me. Emma agrees. Carla speaks excellent English. She sounds natural and confident. That's more important than perfect grammar. I learned that fluency doesn't mean speaking fast or never making mistakes. Fluency means speaking without long pauses, expressing your ideas clearly. The football team becomes my English practice family. We talk about everything, our countries, our dreams, our problems, our boyfriends. These conversations teach me real English. Not textbook English, but the English people actually use. I'm knackered, Emma says after a hard practice. What does knackered mean? I ask. Very tired. It's British slang. I learned that English has many levels. Formal English, informal English, slang, regional expressions. I start to understand them all. Chapter 8. Understanding Different Accents. In my 7th week in London, something confusing happens. A customer comes to the cafe. She speaks English, but I understand nothing. I'd like a cup of tea, hen, and one of those wee scones if you dinna mind. I stare at her. This sounds like English, but very different English. Lucy comes to help. She'd like a cup of tea and a small scone, please. Lucy translates. The woman laughs. Sorry, love. I'm from Glasgow. My accent is quite strong. After she leaves, Lucy explains. That was a Scottish accent. Scottish English is different from London English. In class, James teaches us about accents. He plays audio from different English-speaking regions, London English, what we learn in school. Scottish English, very different sounds. Irish English, musical and flowing. American English, different words and pronunciation. Australian English, unique expressions. Indian English, clear but different rhythm. All of these are correct English, James says. Native speakers sometimes have trouble understanding each other too. He teaches us strategies for understanding different accents. 1. Don't panic when you don't understand. 2. Ask the person to speak slower. 3. Focus on keywords, not every word. 4. Use context to guess meaning. Practice listening to different accents. I start watching movies from different English-speaking countries. At first it's difficult, but slowly my ears adapt. I practice with my football teammates. Emma, London accent. Carla, Brazilian accent. Sophie, French accent. Maria, Mexican accent. Each has a different way of speaking English. Your ear is training, James explains. Soon, different accents won't be a problem. He's right. After 2 months of listening practice, I understand most accents. Not perfectly, but well enough to communicate. The Scottish customer comes back to the cafe. This time, I understand her better. The usual hen? She asks. 1 cup of tea and 1 scone? I reply. Aye, that's right. You're getting the hang of it. I feel proud. Understanding different accents makes me feel like a real English speaker. Chapter 9. My vocabulary grows. How many English words do you know? James asks our class. We guess. Some students say 500. Others say 1,000. I guess 800. James gives us an online test. I discover I know 1,200 words. I am surprised. You learned 1,200 words in 2 months, James says, and you didn't memorize word lists. You learned through reading, listening, and speaking. He explains how vocabulary grows naturally. Level 1, 1,000 words. You can have basic conversations. You can express simple ideas. Level 2, 2,000 words. You can discuss many topics. You can understand most conversations. Level 3, 3,000 words. You can read newspapers. You can watch movies without subtitles. Level 4, 4,000 plus words. You can study or work in English. You can express complex ideas. The beautiful thing, James says, is that you already know the most important words. The first 1,000 words make up 75% of everything you read and hear. He shows us the word frequency list. Words like the, and, you, have, do appear everywhere. I already know these words well. James teaches us about word families. If you know happy, you can learn happiness, happily, unhappy, easily. Monica raises her hand. How can we remember new words better? Great question. The best way is to see words in context, many times. When you read stories, you see the same words again and again. Your brain remembers them naturally. I think about my reading. In my travel book, I see words like journey, explore, adventure many times. Now I know these words well. James also teaches us about cognates, words that are similar in different languages. Elena, in Spanish you say hospital. In English we say hospital. Same word exclamation mark, I think of other examples. Hotel, restaurant, music, animal. Many words are similar to Spanish. This is an advantage for Spanish speakers, James says. You already know many English words. For homework, James gives us a vocabulary tracking app. Check your level every 2 weeks. Watch your vocabulary grow. I'm excited to see my progress. Learning words through stories and conversations is much more enjoyable than memorizing lists. Chapter 10. Overcoming my shyness. In my 3rd month in London, I still feel shy in some situations. At the cafe, I'm comfortable. With my football team, I'm relaxed. But in new situations, I become nervous. One day, 2 Japanese tourists come to the cafe. They speak very little English. "Excuse me," one says. "Where is Big Ben?" I understand their question, but they look lost and confused. I want to help them, but I worry about my English. Big Ben is... It's near Westminster, I say slowly. They look more confused. Westminster? I realize they need simple directions. I remember what Lucy taught me about adapting my English. Okay, listen. Go straight, then turn left. Walk 10 minutes. You see Big River. You see Big Clock Tower. That is Big Ben. Their faces brighten. Ah, thank you. I feel good. I helped someone with my English. James notices that some students are still shy. He organizes a confidence-building session. Shyness is normal, he says, but shyness stops you from improving. Here are strategies to build confidence. Strategy 1. Start small. Don't try to have long conversations immediately. Start with good morning and thank you. Strategy 2. Prepare phrases. Learn useful phrases for common situations. Excuse me, where is... Could you help me, please? I don't understand. Strategy 3. Accept mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes too. Strategy 4. Focus on communication, not perfection. Your goal is to be understood, not to be perfect. Strategy 5. Practice with yourself first. Use thinking aloud to practice before real conversations. James gives us confidence exercises. We practice introducing ourselves to strangers. We practice asking for help. We practice explaining when we don't understand. What do you do when you don't know a word? James asks. I remember my lesson from the Japanese tourists. Explain with simple words, I say. Exactly. You don't need to know every word. You need to communicate your idea. He gives us practice. Explain refrigerator without using the word. It's a big white box. It keeps food cold, says Monica. Explain umbrella. It protects you from rain. You hold it over your head, I say. This exercise teaches us that we can communicate even with limited vocabulary. James also teaches us phrases for when we don't understand. Could you repeat that, please? I don't understand. Could you say it differently? What does word mean? Could you speak a bit slower? I practice these phrases at the cafe. When customers speak too fast, I ask them to slow down. Most people are happy to help. My confidence grows every day. I start conversations with customers. I ask my football teammates about their countries. I even phone Sarah, the woman I met on the train. Elena, your English sounds wonderful, Sarah says. Would you like to come to our pub quiz this week? Yes, I say without hesitation. I would love to come. Chapter 11. The Pub Quiz Challenge. Sarah's pub quiz is on Wednesday evening. I arrive at the Red Lion pub feeling nervous but excited. Sarah introduces me to her friends, David, Rachel, and Tom. They are all English, but they speak to me naturally, not slowly like I'm a child. Elena is from Barcelona, Sarah explains. She's been learning English here for 3 months. Brilliant, says David. I love Barcelona. The food is incredible. We talk about Spanish food, Barcelona's architecture, and my English learning journey. I'm surprised how naturally the conversation flows. The quiz master, a man with a loud voice, starts the quiz. Good evening, everyone. Tonight we have questions about British history, world geography, music, and sports. My team huddles together. The first question is about British kings and queens. I know nothing about this topic. King Henry VIII had how many wives? The quizmaster asks. Tom whispers, 6. He divorced 2, executed 2, 1 died, and 1 survived. I'm amazed by this detailed answer. English people know so much history. The geography questions are easier for me. What is the capital of Peru? Lima, I say confidently. Well done, says Rachel. How did you know that? I studied geography in Spain, and I met a girl from Lima in my English class. The music questions are fun. Which band recorded Hey Jude? The Beatles, I say immediately. Sarah laughs. Elena loves the Beatles. That's how she got interested in English. During the quiz, I notice something important. When I focus on the content, history, geography, music, I forget to worry about my English. I just communicate naturally. We don't win the quiz, but we have a great time. After the quiz, Tom buys drinks for everyone. Elena, your English is really impressive, he says. How long have you been learning? I studied in school for 6 years, but I never spoke well. I've been in London for 3 months. That's where I really learned. What's different about learning in London? Rachel asks. I think about this question. In Spain, I studied about English. Here, I use English. I read, I listen, I speak every day. I work in English. I play football in English. I live in English. David nods. That makes sense. When you use the language for real purposes, you learn faster. I realized something important that night. I'm not a Spanish person trying to speak English anymore. I'm becoming a person who happens to speak both Spanish and English. Chapter 12. Measuring my progress. After 3 months in London, James gives our class a progress test. We take the same vocabulary test from our first week. My first test result, 1,200 words. My new test result, 2,100 words. I learned 900 new words in 3 months. And I didn't memorize word lists or use flashcards. This is normal progress, James says. When you read, listen, and speak every day, your vocabulary grows naturally. He explains the 5 stages of learning a new word. Stage 1, you see or hear the word for the first time. Stage 2, you recognize the word but don't remember the meaning. Stage 3, you remember the meaning but don't use the word. Stage 4, you start using the word in familiar contexts. Stage 5, you use the word naturally in any context. Most words in your vocabulary are at stages 3 and 4, James says. That's normal. Native speakers have the same pattern. I think about my word journey. I first saw it in my travel book, stage 1. Then I saw it many times but couldn't remember the meaning, stage 2. Then I understood it when reading but didn't use it, stage 3. Now I use it sometimes in conversation, stage 4. I'm moving toward stage 5. James also gives us a speaking test. We have conversations with him for 10 minutes. He records our conversations and compares them to our first week. The difference is amazing. In my first recording, I speak slowly with many pauses. I translate from Spanish in my head. I make basic grammar mistakes. In my new recording, I speak more fluently. I think in English. My grammar is much better. I use more complex ideas. Elena, you sound like a different person, James says. Your confidence has grown enormously. Monica shows similar improvement. I can't believe this is me speaking, she says. James explains why we improved so quickly. 1. Daily practice. We used English every day, not just in class. 2. Real communication. We didn't just study exercises. We had real conversations. 3. Interest-based learning. We read about topics we enjoyed. 4th, immersion. We lived in English, not just studied it. 5. Confidence building. We learned that communication is more important than perfection. James says, the most important thing is that you now believe you can learn English. Confidence is the key to continued improvement. I realize he's right. 3 months ago, I was afraid to speak English. Now I work in English, play sports in English, go to pub quizzes in English. Chapter 13. Understanding Fluency. What does it mean to be fluent? James asks our class. Different students give different answers. Speaking without mistakes, says one student. Speaking fast like native speakers, says another. Knowing all the words, says a third student. James shakes his head. These are common misunderstandings. Let me explain real fluency. He plays 2 audio recordings. The first speaker talks very fast with perfect grammar, but says nothing interesting. The second speaker talks slower, makes some small mistakes, but tells an engaging story about traveling in India. Which speaker is more fluent? James asks. We all choose the second speaker. Exactly. Fluency is not about speed or perfection. Fluency is about communicating your ideas clearly and naturally. James gives us his definition of fluency. Fluency equals speaking without long pauses, plus expressing your ideas clearly, plus natural rhythm and intonation. A fluent speaker might make small grammar mistakes. A fluent speaker might not know every word, but a fluent speaker can communicate effectively. He shows us examples of fluent non-native speakers. Carla from my football team speaks fluently but makes small mistakes. Lucy, my boss, has a slight accent but communicates perfectly with customers. Monica sounds natural and confident in conversations. These people are fluent because they communicate well, not because they speak perfectly. James also explains different types of fluency. Conversational fluency. You can have normal conversations about everyday topics. Academic fluency. You can discuss complex topics and abstract ideas. Professional fluency. You can work in your field using English. Most people need conversational fluency, James says. That's what we focus on here. I think about my own progress. 3 months ago, I couldn't have a 10-minute conversation. Now I can talk about many topics naturally. Am I fluent? Not perfectly. I still sometimes search for words. I still make mistakes. But I can communicate my ideas clearly. People understand me. I understand them. Elena, James says, you have achieved conversational fluency. You can live your daily life in English. That's a huge accomplishment. I feel proud, but also motivated to continue improving. Chapter 14. My New British Friends. Through Sarah's pub quiz, I meet a group of British friends. They invite me to different activities, cinema, restaurants, weekend trips. At first, I worry about keeping up with their conversations. British people speak quickly and use lots of expressions I don't know. "That film was absolutely brilliant," says David after we watch a movie. "Yeah, it was mint," agrees Tom. "I thought it was a bit rubbish, to be honest," says Rachel. I understand they're talking about the movie, but I don't know mint or rubbish in this context. "Sorry," I say. "What does mint mean here?" "Oh, it means great or excellent," Tom explains. "It's Northern English slang." "And rubbish?" I ask. "Bad, terrible," Rachel says. "I didn't like the movie." I learned that British English has many informal expressions. Instead of feeling frustrated, I decide to collect them like souvenirs. My collection grows. Cheers equals thank you. Brilliant. Very good. Mad. Crazy or very, it's mad expensive. Proper. Really, it's proper cold today. Gutted. Very disappointed. Chuffed. Ha, very pleased. Sarah notices my interest in expressions. "Elena, you're like a language detective," she says. My British friends start explaining expressions naturally. They don't make me feel stupid for not knowing them. One weekend, we go to Brighton, a seaside town. On the train, I have long conversations with David about traveling. "I've been to Barcelona twice," he says. "I love the Gothic Quarter." Yes, the Gothic Quarter is very beautiful. But my favorite place is Park Güell. Do you know it? Gaudí's park with the colorful mosaics? Yes, I went there. It's incredible. We talk for 2 hours about travel, architecture, and culture. I realize something amazing. I'm having the same conversation I could have in Spanish. The language isn't a barrier anymore. Rachel studies psychology at university. She asks me about my language learning experience. "What's been the most difficult part?" she asks. At the beginning, I was afraid to make mistakes. I wanted to speak perfectly. And now? Now I know that communication is more important than perfection. I still make mistakes, but people understand me. That's really interesting. You've changed your whole mindset about learning. These conversations with British friends give me confidence. They treat me as an equal, not as a foreign student. They're interested in my opinions and experiences. Tom even asks for Spanish lessons. "I want to learn Spanish for my job," he says. "Can you teach me?" I'm surprised. "But I'm still learning English?" "Exactly. You understand what it's like to learn a language. You'd be a great teacher." This conversation plants an idea in my mind. Maybe I could teach languages in the future. 15. Thinking about my future. As my intensive course nears its end, I think about my future. I came to London to learn English, but I've discovered something more. I love teaching and helping others with languages. At the cafe, I often help foreign customers who struggle with English. A Frenchman can't explain what he wants. I help him communicate with Lucy. "I want, how do you say, pain au chocolat?" "Ah, he wants a chocolate croissant," I tell Lucy. The man smiles. "Yes, exactly." "Thank you." Lucy notices my natural teaching ability. Elena, you're really good at helping people with language. Have you thought about teaching? I have been thinking about it, especially after Tom's request for Spanish lessons. James also encourages me. Elena, you have a natural talent for languages and teaching. Have you considered getting a teaching qualification? I research English teaching qualifications. I discover that many schools need teachers who speak Spanish and English. I could help Spanish speakers learn English, just like my teachers helped me. It would be perfect, Monica says. You understand the struggles because you experienced them yourself. I think about my journey. 6 months ago, I was afraid to speak English. Now I'm considering teaching in English. The transformation seems incredible. Sarah supports my idea completely. Elena, you've made such amazing progress. You could inspire other Spanish speakers to learn English. I decide to stay in London for 1 more year. I will study for my teaching qualification while working part-time at the cafe. That's wonderful, Lucy says. You can keep working here while you study, and maybe you can help me train other international staff members. I feel excited about my future. Learning English opened many doors I never expected. Chapter 16, Teaching My First Student. Tom becomes my first Spanish student. We meet twice a week at a quiet cafe near his office. I'm nervous, he says. I've never learned a foreign language before. Don't worry, I say. I understand exactly how you feel. 6 months ago, I was terrified to speak English. I use the same methods James taught me. No grammar books, no memorization, just communication and immersion. We will read Spanish stories, listen to Spanish music, and speak Spanish together, I tell Tom. Tom looks surprised. No grammar exercises. You learned English grammar naturally as a child. You can learn Spanish grammar the same way. I start with simple stories, just like I did with English. Tom reads about a boy who travels around Spain. The vocabulary is basic, but the story is interesting. I understand most of this, Tom says after reading 1 page. Exactly. That's the right level for you. I teach Tom the shadowing technique with Spanish music. We listen to simple Spanish songs and repeat the words. This is fun, Tom says. Learning doesn't feel like work. After 1 month, Tom can have basic conversations in Spanish. He's amazed by his progress. Elena, you're a natural teacher, he says. Have you thought about making this your career? I have been thinking about it more and more. Chapter 17, My Teaching Qualification. I enroll in a Teaching English as a Foreign Language TOEFL course. The course is intensive, 4 weeks of theory and practice. My classmates come from all over the world. Many are native English speakers who want to teach abroad. I'm one of the few non-native speakers in the class. At first, I feel intimidated. Can I really teach English when it's not my first language? I wonder. Our instructor, Margaret, addresses this concern. Non-native English teachers have special advantages. You understand the learning process. You know the difficulties students face. You can be excellent teachers. She's right. During practice lessons, I connect with students immediately. I understand their struggles because I experienced them myself. Elena explains grammar in a way I can understand, says one practice student. She knows exactly where I'm confused. The course teaches me formal teaching techniques, but I already understand the most important principles from my own learning experience. Students need confidence more than perfection. Communication practice is essential. Reading and listening build vocabulary naturally. Real-world practice is more valuable than textbook exercises. Every student learns differently. For my final teaching practice, I teach a lesson about ordering food in restaurants. I use role-play activities where students practice real conversations. Imagine you're at a cafe. I tell my practice students, "You want coffee and a sandwich. What do you say?" The students practice together. They make mistakes, but they communicate successfully. I feel proud watching them gain confidence. Margaret gives me excellent feedback. "Elena, you have a natural gift for teaching. Your students feel comfortable making mistakes with you because you've been in their position. I passed the course with high marks. Now I'm qualified to teach English professionally." Chapter 18. 1 year later. 1 year after arriving in London, I take the same vocabulary test James gave me on my first day. My results: first day, 1,200 words. After 3 months, 2,100 words. After 1 year, 4,200 words. I've more than tripled my vocabulary. But more importantly, I can use these words naturally in conversation. I also record myself speaking, just like James did with our class. The difference is remarkable. 1 year ago, I spoke slowly with long pauses. I translated from Spanish in my head. I was afraid to make mistakes. Now, I speak fluently and naturally. I think directly in English. I express complex ideas with confidence. James listens to my recording. "Elena, you sound like a completely different person. Your transformation is incredible." I now work as an English teacher at the Green School. I use the same methods that helped me learn: reading, listening, speaking, and building confidence. My students are mostly Spanish speakers who come to London to learn English, just like I did. "I'm scared to speak English," says Carlos, a new student from Madrid. "I understand exactly how you feel," I tell him. 1 year ago, I was sitting in your chair, feeling the same fear. I share my story with him. I show him that learning English is possible for everyone. "You learned your first language perfectly," I tell Carlos. "You have all the ability you need to learn English." Chapter 19. Teaching others. My method. My students make excellent progress using the natural learning approach. Word spreads about my teaching success. The school director, Mrs. Thompson, asks me to train other teachers in my methods. "Elena, your students improve faster than students in traditional classes. What's your secret?" "There's no secret," I say. "I just use the same methods that worked for me. Lots of reading, listening, and speaking practice. No grammar memorization or word lists." I create training workshops for other teachers. I share the big 3 daily activities: 30 minutes reading. Students choose books they enjoy at the right level. 30 minutes listening. Audiobooks, podcasts, or movies with subtitles. 30 minutes speaking. conversation practice, or thinking aloud. But how do students learn grammar? Asks one teacher. The same way you learned your first language grammar, I explain. Through exposure and practice, not through rules and exercises. I demonstrate the shadowing technique and thinking aloud practice. The teachers are impressed by how natural these methods feel. Elena now runs her own language school in London, helping hundreds of students learn English using natural, immersive methods. She still reads English books every day, still discovers new expressions, and still believes that anyone can learn English if they use it for real communication and don't give up on themselves. Her favorite advice to new students? Don't study English. Live English.